What's going on, guys? I'm Journey, back with a thoughts video, this time on Final Fantasy XII. Final Fantasy XII is one of my least favorite Final Fantasies. The combat system is atrocious. It reminds me of an MMO. You move around pretty much basically a 3D plane, and you do your same things that you normally do. You hit your attack, your magic, all this other good stuff. But there's that nice little timer, and then everybody got arrows over their heads pointing towards their targets. It feels weird. Just not my kind of cup of tea. But the biggest thing and the most atrocious thing I want to complain about, I want to just start early, the status elements. Stuff like sap. Sap takes, it decreases your base HP and your maximum HP. They go down at the same time and it goes down fast and drastically. It's going to go down to 1. That's as low as it's going to go. At that point, you're getting one shot. Here's the kicker. If you die, you still have that element on you. This also extends to things like silence, poison even. Wait, no, not poison. I don't think poison. But I know silence, quite sure darkness, and more than a few others. Disease is another one. So, what happens? Why does your character die and they still have these things? It should they're. I have no idea, but I do know this. Instead of doing something that would take one action upon a character death, now you're looking at a potential 3 actions: resurrection, cleanse the element, then heal. Sweet, right? Because this is what happens when you're sapped. You die, you still got sapped, your character's HP is still at 1. You resurrect them, enemy kills them. Why? Because it's just 1 HP. So you have to resurrect again, then you have to clear the element. Don't worry, he'll probably get shot again. Do it again. This is all if you're really bad on luck. But if you're lucky, you can resurrect, clear the element, then heal. It's just my playthroughs. I spend a lot of time resurrecting, healing the element, getting one shot because I'm still got 1 HP. You still got 1 HP. That's when you got to heal your character. Mind blown. Same thing with silence. So you die, you still have silence on you, resurrect, clear silence, then you can actually do your magics. It's dumb, man. I'm sorry, it's dumb. I don't know who thought that thing was smart or thought it was fun or thought it was like an intelligent thing to do. And I don't even care if it was just because, oh, we want to add difficulty. It's stupid. It's not fun. It's horrible. Another thing, when you get into boss battles, enemies get down to like 50% health, or I should say your bosses get down to 50% health, somewhere around there, they start doing an enraged state thing. They get increased speed, increased attack. They start comboing out of nowhere. Also somebody actually have auto protect and auto haste. You can dispel auto protect and auto haste, but you can't dispel the regular buffs to their strengths and their defenses. And they just go out to you, bam, bam, dead. Goes the next person, bam, bam, dead. It's just ridiculous. And yes, you could probably power level through it all for the most part and just probably be fine. But it's dumb. I'm sorry, it's just flat dumb. And it reared its ugly head seriously at the end, where I started seeing a certain enemy who's literally running around shooting me with a gun, but he got complete immunity to both physical and magical attacks. It was just wild to me. I'm sorry, it was just super wild to me. And it's just not something I care for. That turned me off completely. There's also bounties that you can take, but you have to go over to the there's a posting board for your targets. You select the one that you want, and then you have to go out and then find the client, which is annoying. It should just be there. You have to find the client, then you go up and do the mission. Then you come back to report to then collect your stuff. It's just no. And then not only that, I'm happy that at least with the remaster there is a speed boost. If it wasn't that speed boost and you was running regularly, way too much time. Way too much time. It feels like an MMO. The places are way too big. I like to say it like this: it's way too big for your britches. It just is way too much. So it would be, not only is it boring running around the world, but it's also full of absolutely nothing, in my personal opinion. The music doesn't do anything. It doesn't incite, either a sense of urgency or a sense of, quote unquote, care. There's no real events that make you feel away. It's just it doesn't do anything towards the story at all, which is another thing. The characters all suck. I'm sorry, they just do. You have you would thought Van would be the main character because that's what you start off with, and you know, a little boy who's essentially an orphan because of the war, uh, getting into some stuff he shouldn't be getting into. Then meets Buffy and Fran. Everybody's trying to steal this one thing. They all end up in this kind of like mission together where they meet more people like Bosch, Ash, and you know all these other characters, and they're all just kind of like, there's literally nothing as far as personality that makes you think, damn, this is special, and it isn't. I'm sorry, it just isn't. And character portraits says more than enough. You have Vaughn, who seems like he's trying to be a gigolo. You have Balthier, which is probably the only one that actually seems to fit his character, which he's kind of like a show off all about him kind of thing. Fran seems okay. She's fine. It's not much you could really say about it. You have Bosch. That seems like he came out of a fight nightclub. You have Pinello, who is kind of like the girl next door. I guess it would make sense. And then Ash, which is ridiculous. Home shit looked like she already started a OnlyFans and was doing that before anybody ever thought about it. Like it just doesn't fit her character. It's not who she is and never was who she is. She's not the type of person who likes to flaunt. It's just not her thing. It's a hard thing. The license board kind of sucks in my opinion. I hate the fact that you get to a license board, a ribbon could be right there. And you go and you select that ribbon. You spend 215 points for your ribbon. You don't get a ribbon. You got to find the ribbon. Only find out that the ribbon is tied behind bounties and maybe some other stuff. And it's horrible. Why is it so close? It should be somewhere at the end of the board. It should be somewhere at the end of the board. But what am I to know? I will say it wasn't too bad to get where you want to go as far as on the board to pick up what you need. By the same token, it feels annoying to invest points into something for you to equip that you don't have the ability to get. You think you want to spend your points on something that you can just get from it, but it doesn't work that way, which is awkward. They try to do the best version of Final Fantasy X where you can take your characters and make them anything, but there is a limit. You can only really do 2. From my playthrough, you can only do 2. Which Final Fantasy X, you can just go wherever the heck you wanted to. And it just made the game feel so empty. It's trying to be, but it's just empty. And I just couldn't. I just really couldn't. So the characters are bad, music is bad, story is bad, the combat is atrocious. I'm sorry, it's atrocious. As far as like, replayability, because that could be a big thing for Final Fantasy as well, and I don't really talk about it. But this one to me has none. Like there is a new game plus. Man, good luck wanting to go through that garbage again. But there is one. If you wanted to go ahead and do that, I'm just gonna sit here and say it. This is the only thing I consider worse than this. There's probably like 2 things. Would be the complete Final Fantasy 13 series, and then Final Fantasy 4: The After Years. Those things are just worse than this. So this is really easily down at my bottom of the list. I can't do this one. Can't do this one. But I'm quite sure there's people out there that can, because I've seen enough people that was like that will say, "Oh, this is my favorite one." This is God bless each and every one of you. Some people could do it with 10-2, some people could do it with 12, some people could do it with 13, some people could do it with the After Years, and will defend it. God bless you. Mad love to you. There's some beautiful souls out in the world, but not this type of brother. Either way, that's my thoughts on Final Fantasy 12, and I hope you have a much better experience with your journey when it comes to this one or some of the other ones I consider just horrible. You just kind of go from there. So until then, take care of yourself and take care of each other, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.